The next topic is autonomous item, which is included in BOP account. So let's understand autonomous item is what. Autonomous item refers to those economic transaction which is done with the rest of the world, or we can say those international economic transaction which is done due to have profit or maximization of profit. Means this type of transaction is done only for the earning and only for the profit motive. So that's why I've written in this type transaction is done with the rest of the world. It means these are the international transactions, either in the form of export or import, and this is done only for the profit motive, unless until the foremost requirement is only earning profit or maximization of profit. This transactions are recorded in both current account and capital account. Remember this, that in this type of transactions can be in any form, either visible, invisible, unilateral or capital. All four transactions we are talking, but the transaction which is done only for the purpose of earning profit, that will be known as autonomous item. One very important line is to know that these transactions are independent from BOP status. I have explained you in the previous video that BOP status are three types: balanced, deficit and surplus. Balanced, if the BOP status is balanced, yani debit side and credit side both are equal, it means outflow and inflow of the foreign exchange is equal, then there is no problem. But if the situation is surplus or deficit, there will be problem. Always remember, like I have given you explanation, that we used to show BOP account like this. Suppose the total of this side is more than total of this side, or maybe in that accounting period only one transaction took place, like unilateral transaction. We have already understood unilateral transaction is one side transaction. So suppose in that accounting period we had an export of unilateral transactions. So unilateral transaction we did only export. It means nothing is in import side, means debit side. So this side will be more than this side. So this situation create surplus, or if it is vice versa, there will be deficit. So if such kind of situation is there, in BOP, autonomous item is totally free from BOP status. It doesn't bother about whether the account is deficit or surplus. These are those transactions which is beyond of BOP status. That's why it's written it is independent from BOP status. We do not have any idea, or government in this type of transaction, it is not taken care what is the status of, what is the condition of balance of payment account. This is also known as above the line transactions. Okay, this topic will be asked in the exam for 4 marks, or sometime it is also for 6 marks. The most important question comes from this topic: differentiate between autonomous and accommodating. Let's understand accommodating transaction. The second transaction is accommodating transactions. Accommodating items are those items which is totally related to BOP status. As I told you that autonomous transaction was what? Autonomous transaction was related to only profit making, which main purpose was to earn profit. For example, if someone Indian has purchased foreigner security bill just to earn profit, or Indian has invested their money in the foreign country just to earn profit. So those type of transaction will be autonomous transaction. Accommodating transaction is totally related to BOP status. If BOP status is deficit or surplus, accordingly accommodating transaction will take place. Let's understand with an example, which I have given you. I told you in BOP status, we used to maintain such an account. Suppose in capital account, remember that these transactions take place only in capital account. Capital account, this side means export we have done. In credit side, we have done any export. in that accounting year. But we have not done any import. What will happen in the BOP account now? Now BOP account will show that export, yani credit side is more than debit side. Is it okay? So it will show the surplus in balance of payment account. The surplus in balance of payment account, there will be no balanced payment accounts. To make it balanced, what we have to do? We have to do any transaction in debit side. It means we will have to increase outflow of the foreign currency, not the inflow. So for the outflow, either we are going to repay the loans or either we are going to purchase any asset and then the transaction will be done. So this side transaction will be recorded and both sides will be equal. So understood what is called accommodating item. Accommodating items are those items which is identified with the BOP status, which is established, which is done only to maintain the BOP status. Okay, these are not profit motive. As I told, autonomous transactions are profit motive. Clearly, autonomous transaction take place in two accounts, current account and capital account. But accommodating transaction take place only in capital account, not in current account. Okay, it means we used to do the transactions only in capital goods. Capital goods are either borrowings, either FDI, or either any kind of banking transfers. This is also known as below the line transactions. And if we are going to see the differences between accommodating and autonomous transactions, so we can say accommodating autonomous transactions are profit motive and accommodating transactions are not profit motive. Autonomous transactions is above the line, accommodating transaction is below the line. Autonomous transactions are recorded in capital and current both, but the accommodating are recorded in capital account. Autonomous transaction can be done by private sector and government sector both, but accommodating transactions are done by only government sector. So this was the difference between these two. As we have seen, autonomous transactions are profit motive and accommodating transactions are just compensating transactions, which is only to just maintain the BOP status. Now let's understand some of the basic other terms. Other terms we have to study. What do you mean by disequilibrium of balance of payment account? Balance of payment account, when it is not equal, that situation is known as disequilibrium. The disequilibrium of balance of payment take place only in two cases. If there is surplus of BOP or if there is deficit of BOP. Surplus of BOP will be when the credit side of the balance of payment will be more than the debit side of the balance of payment. Credit side means inflow of the currency and debit side means outflow of the currency. Inflow of the currency means when money comes in after the transaction take place, money is coming to inside the country, so that will be recorded in credit side. And similarly, when money goes outside of the country, that will be recorded in debit side. Both the situation, if the debit side is less than the credit side, there will be surplus in BOP status. And opposite, when credit side is less than debit side, means that will be deficit of BOP status. It means what? Inflow of the currency is less than outflow of the currency. It means the money which is coming to India, that is lesser than the money which is going outside of the India is more. So in both the scenario create disequilibrium in the economy. There are several reasons. These reasons can be economic also, it can be political reason also, and some social reasons also. Economically, if the price of the money means money value in the international market either devalued or appreciated, because of that reason disequilibrium to take place. Or political reason, we can say if the two countries, nations economic policy agreed on such a rate that we do not able to maintain the balance account. Or similarly, if there any political trouble is there, any kind of disputes is going over, or any kind of war is taken place, due to that some reason, if there is any tension in international boundaries, we will not be able to maintain the BOP status. And social reason, if at the domestic level country is unable to manage the poor section and this section of the society, so there will be fall or rise in BOP status. So this was the disequilibrium of balance of payment account. If we talk about some other topic, that is one more is there, balance of trade. What do you mean by balance of trade? So let's understand balance of trade is the difference between the value of export of visible goods and import of visible goods. Did you understand? Did you listen what definition I say? What is it? Balance of trade refers to the difference of value of export of visible goods and value of export or import of visible good. It means it is only the export of visible good is more than import of visible good. Here we are talking about only visible good, not invisible, not unilateral, not capital. We are talking about only that balance of trade take place when the total export of visible good and total import of visible good, the difference amount will be balance of trade. Okay, so if the question will be asked, or any numerical question is being asked to calculate balance of trade, how will you calculate? That export of visible goods you will take and subtracted with the import of visible goods, that value will be known as balance of trade. So this much we have to study in this chapter. Now I am giving you some of the important question. Kindly go through it, and one assignment also I am adding in it. So go through it, understand it, and try to solve. If any doubt,